Okay, this is. I need to turn off my fan before I forget. This is Jump and Shoot playing Risk of Rain 2 only because I have some shit I need to get off my chest because I am not okay right now. I'm super annoyed, frustrated, and I gotta talk about this before I fucking go insane. Okay, so this episode is called a gigantic politics rant. Why is it called that? Okay, so a long time ago, I was trying to get into dating, and I mustered the courage to talk to someone that didn't go anywhere because they're awful, but we still kept in contact a little bit, and then later we kept talking to each other, and until recently recently she started asking me if I wanted to go walk with her, so I did, and I'm starting to regret it because she's using this time to start asking me political questions, or just have a political discussion, which is not unheard of, I guess, but it came to my attention that she is like alt-right. And the thing is, this person is uneducated as fuck, and yet they're telling me that the main thing that I'm annoyed about is that they've been throughout on these walks, they've been telling me that I'm the blind follower because I don't question things. I'm sheltered. I'm all these things just because I have left-ish views, and it's not even like views. It's like I would trust the CDC. I think I'm pretty sure we went to the moon. The Earth is round, and all of a sudden I'm sheltered and all of these things. Except you are uneducated. Just like, I can't believe I'm hearing this shit. And the way she was talking to me, like, I'm the odd one out here. Like, I'm the weird one to think that the CDC came up with a vaccine to get rid of this, to like help the public get rid of this virus. And yeah, here's the thing. When we first started talking on the first walk, she was like, "Are you like political or anything?" I was like, "Well, first of all, I didn't say this, but I kind of hate that question too. Like, you can be not interested in politics, but you are not immune to the effects of politics. Like, if a bill gets passed that says citizens have to do this, you are doing that because it's now fucking law. So, especially when it comes to the mask thing, the mask mandate. You don't have to be political to be affected by that. You are going to be affected by that. So, I hate that question. But anyway, I said I wasn't really, but she was telling me she doesn't even know the difference between liberal and conservative. So I was like, how do you not know that? Then later she told me that she never went to school because at like a very young age she had to take care of her family, which is like, sure, okay, that's a background, that's something. But in my mind I'm like, well, you don't really have a basis of trying to argue anything because you have zero education, and her only quote-unquote education has been looking shit up on the internet, which is never wrong most of the time. And I'm just, when I was arguing my cases, I was just trying to pull back memory from what I learned in school, and she has nothing, and it's just my education versus her word, and I'm the sheltered one. I'm the blind follower. I'm so used to things. You're so used to things. You don't have an open mind. It's like, look, flat earthers have zero proof of anything. You know, people who deny the virus have also no. They're just spouting bullshit. Like, oh yeah, it's a curse. It's not real. It's just a way for the government to put something in you using the vaccine. All this fucking bullshit, dude. And I'm just trying to tell them, don't you think the reason why you latch on to the bullshit people say on the internet is because you're uneducated? And she was like, oh yeah. I was like, okay. But then she said, well, if I was educated, I'd probably be like you. And it's like, I'm sorry, is not being a fucking alt-right shithead so weird? Like, God. I can't believe I'm being subjected to this, and I'm trying not to get mad. I think today was the final straw. Like, it's so hard to walk with this person in general, because, like, they walk fast, they walk ahead, they're trying to hold a conversation with me when she's, like, a foot away in front of me, and I can't hear what the fuck she's saying. Like, dude, if I wanted to walk alone, I would just do that. This is dumb. I'm not having a good time. I can't believe I made it, like, twice that long. But, like, if we have different views, okay. But the last thing I want is for my logic to be questioned. Because my whole world is ifs and thens. That's how you have a logical, like, opinion on something. If this is okay, then it should follow that the next thing is okay. If this is not okay and that's okay, that's how you identify a double standard. I think like that. I took a logic class. I'm educated. I'm the best person. I'm not saying I'm the smartest person in the world, but I ain't the stupidest. You know? I'm picking multi because I really like the ult here. I like the dual wield. It's kind of like the best thing in the world. It's very satisfying to use, and you can be close to death, and just kind of like be okay, and it's good. Except for right now, I think I might leave. Woo! And today, or I guess in every single walk, she's been trying to get me to say that I'm a blind follower. And it's like, I'm not. What I was saying was that, like, people who distrust everything and question everything is fine. I think being inquisitive is healthy. But I also think questioning the wrong things is, like, just stupid. I'm gonna die. It's fine. You know, I'm actually glad it's this level and not the distant roost. I don't like that place. What? Especially the variant of it. What's the variant of it? I don't like the one where I guess there's not really a variant. I don't even remember. Like, sometimes the door is open and sometimes it's not. That's the variant. God damn it, this fucking gnat got in here. So, yeah, so today she's been trying to just... I said I didn't want to walk with you, or I said I would agree to walk with you as long as we don't talk politics. But the first time she said she's going to, like, ask me a bunch of questions because she's never met someone like me before. You know, because I'm the weird one that thinks the Earth is round. It's like, Jesus Christ. Like, some things are just a fact, whether you believe it or not. And every time I said, like, an alt-right view was bad, or a conservative view was, like, didn't make any sense, she was like, wow, are you, like, religious or something? I'm like, no, I'm not. So it makes your argument that I'm being like a certain way is wrong. I don't know how to word this. She's like, she treated me like such a weirdo, but you're the weird one. It's so ironic. That's what it felt like. Like it's like a doomsday prepper coming to you and being like, "What? You're not preparing for the doomsday? What's wrong with you?" It's like, what's wrong with me is that there's no doomsday and you're preparing for nothing. Whatever. She kept bringing up the CDC, and I was just like, what are you getting at? She was like, so don't you think that when someone has lied to you, that they shouldn't be trusted anymore? I was like, well, yeah. I said yes. When someone lies to you, you shouldn't trust them anymore. And she was like, oh, wow, okay, your logic is weird. I was like, what part of that logic is not sound? If I lied to you one day, you're not gonna keep trusting me, are you? God, it was just so annoying. But I think what she was trying to get me to say was, it's one day the CDC is gonna lie to us, and then it will make all this like denial of the virus like justified, and it's not. They haven't given us a reason to think they're lying. In my argument was, I trust them because they're the scientists whose job it is to figure this shit out for us. Meanwhile, virus deniers and anti-maskers and anti-vaxxers are just doing it for the sake of not going with the massive. They're without any backup to their reasoning. They're just like, well, I don't believe this because I don't want it. It's like, okay. And you're also wrong for believing it's true. It's like, no, you're fucking wrong in that department. I'm sorry. And when I brought this up before, on the first time we walked, she said, what, we just blindly believe scientists? I was like, well, what do you go to the doctor for? She's like, I don't. Well, I was like, and so you don't wonder why things are wrong with you? She was like, well, I don't know, it's just something's wrong with me or whatever. Like, you know what? People who have problems trusting things, they are the problem. Like, all the conspiracy theorists in the world, they are the problem with the world. If you're gonna call me out, I'm blindly, quote-unquote, believing something. There's also blindly believing misinformation, too. And he's like, her argument was, but they have evidence. Like, no, they don't. Their evidence is fucking bullshit. Flat earthers have no evidence that the earth is flat. They said, well, there's guards at the end of the earth and there's an ice wall. It's like, okay, where's your proof? There's video footage of the Mars rover on Mars. It was a televised event where we went to the moon. There's people in space right now. There's pictures of other planets that are also round. There's photos of the Earth from the outside. You're just gonna tell me all that's fake and not explain why that is fake. You're just saying it. You're just saying it out of your ass. You have no proof. It's like, it's the same thing about like vaccinations. Anti-vaxxers have no proof that the vaccine is like bad for anybody. They're just saying it because they don't want it. It's like, that's fine, but discrediting like years of education a person gets is kind of bullshit. Oh yeah, and what I was trying to get at was, when I brought that up about the doctor thing, she was like, man, I could go to get a degree and a doctorate or whatever. I was like, no, you can't. People are in this field, you know, to be professionals about it. You can't just... Being a doctor is not an entry-level job, you know? You fucking have to do a lot of schoolwork for that shit. My God. I'm so mad. I don't know why I did that. And the whole sheltering thing, like, when she called me sheltered, she was saying that I was sheltered because I went to public school. I didn't grow up on the streets like her. I'm sheltered because I have an education. Because everything was handed to me, even though it wasn't. Like, I live on my own. I would be sheltered if I still lived with my parents at 28. Because my parents didn't want me to go do anything with my life. Or try living on my own for once. My parents would never kick me out or anything, but like, they would, if I wanted to leave the nest, like, so to speak, then they would help me do it. Like, this is not what sheltered means. Like, you're dumb. Okay, that'll help a lot. Cause I pretty much do explosive damage, like, to pretty much everything, so I'll be healing a shit ton. And somehow, not having education makes you more worldly than everybody else, or more, like, oh, I have street smarts. Like, you're not smarter than most people, I'm sorry. Ugh. You're not smarter than a fucking doctor or a scientist, I'm sorry. You're nothing. If you claim to have street smarts and that somehow makes you, like, as educated as somebody else who went to fucking college, no, you don't. No, you're not. Yeah, and it's like, I think I'm done. They asked me to walk a second time with them, and I went then. Big mistake. Just no, dude. I can't take this anymore. I just need to fucking... I need to at least not be around them where they can ask me shit. And you know what's funny, though? When we talked about, like, the space travel thing, she asked me if I thought we've ever been to the moon. And I said, yes, what do you think? And she's like, you're dodging the question. I'm like, no, I'm not. Or that's not what it was. She asked me what I thought about the Capitol riot. And I said, in response, I said, well, what do you think? And she was like, no, you're dodging the question. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. I think it was, and then I said, I think it was stupid. I think, because I said the left would never do this. But meanwhile, the right wants, like, the right is trying to defend their case for doing it because they think, like, the re-election was rigged for Donald Trump. And it wasn't. Because, when Trump won the first time, you didn't see Capitol riots from the left at all. You got people saying, like, oh, there was probably interference from, like, Russia or something, because there was. You know. Because I just said a big statement there, like, I don't really know for sure if there was interference or not. But, Russian president seemed to be really happy with that. I think that's a little sus of Donald Trump's win. And what else? So afterward, about the moon thing. Oh shit, 2 red items? Hell yeah. Moon thing. I said flat earthers have no evidence, and then she said, well, like, real NASA scientists have no evidence. I was like, what are you talking about? There's, like, proof everywhere. It's like, well, there's proof for the... Because, like, when she said she was defending flat Earth, I laughed it off. She's like, see, you're laughing. That means you're not even bothering to look at their evidence. I was like, their evidence is probably bullshit. They don't have any. She was like, well, now you're just judging before you even see it. It's like, okay, what evidence could they possibly have? They're not gonna have pictures of the ice wall. They're not gonna have proof of that there's guards. They don't have. If they try to get a picture from high up, there's going to be a curve. You know, you can see the curve from the ocean. If the Earth was flat, you would be able to see land like miles away. The same way you would be able to see like a mountain from a distance, you know? But you can't, because the Earth is fucking round. If you look at the ocean. And I was just like, I don't need to... Oh, what the hell? 3 red items in the second level? What is going on? I better not die, because I'll be really upset. What the hell is going on? I'll get all the red items. This is on camera, so, like, my luck is gonna be, like, televised. For anyone not familiar with Risk of Rain, red items are, like, the highest tier of rarity. So, the fact that I got 4 in the same level was pretty good. Shit. And it was like, okay, well, who are the people are like spreading their quote-unquote evidence, which is just misinformation, by the way. So I was like, oh, these like people on the internet. I was like, yeah, and they're never wrong. I was being sarcastic. Like, these jerks with no credentials spread misinformation on the internet, and they want to be seen as like fact somehow. And it's like, this is blind following. Believing people with no credentials. That is the definition of blind following. And it made me mad that she said that I'm doing that, even though, like, I would sooner believe, like, a person who went to school for the damn field than just some jerk who's like, I don't like mainstream stuff. I'm just gonna spout bullshit on the internet. Like, there is even, like, well, they could be right. It's just, no. Giving them an ounce is also just as stupid as believing them. You know, God. And then afterwards, she's like, oh, I hope I didn't offend you with, like, some things. I was like, no, I'm fine. The first 2 times I was fine. Now I'm not, apparently. And then, like, on the way back home, she found a $5 on the ground. And I was joking about how I said, I believe that it's my $5 bill. And I'm a firm believer of the hashtag, it's my $5 bill. And she said, well, where's your proof that it is? I said, where's your proof that it isn't? Exactly what she did to me. And she was like, well, you're blindly following your source. I'm like, you aren't? Like, oh my god. Like, the whole thing just went over her head. And she said that her joke went over my head. And like, oh my god, this is torture. Just dealing with this person. You know, I don't like when you, not like fight fire with fire, just when you use someone's logic against them to prove to them that their logic is flawed. Because when they say what you say back to them, then it's just a fucking circle. And they're not learning from it. They're just like, I said, where's your proof? She said, well, where's your proof that the Earth is round? I was like, there is proof. There wasn't proof that the dollar wasn't mine. You know? It was just word of mouth, just like it's word of mouth that the Earth is flat. and that the vaccine won't work, or that the virus isn't real, or any of that shit. Ugh. Or that it was a conspiracy from America to spread this virus for no reason. God. Which doesn't make sense. If something doesn't make sense, then that's when you don't question. If something doesn't make sense, that's when you question it. If something makes sense, then you don't. See, like, that's how I think. Ifs and thens. So I hate when people say to me that my logic is flawed. It's like, I took a class on it. You realize this, right? Actually, she didn't know that, but whatever. Me taking a class on it makes me 100% more reliable as a source of arguing than you, because you never fucking went to high school. Jesus Christ. And then to say that my education is invalid because I'm just blindly going with what I was taught. Is like, and what, you aren't? You don't think the things you learn, quote, on the street are dumb? Or that could be questioned? It's just because it's the only thing you know? You shouldn't have to question it? It's like, oh my god. Should have used the thing. I don't really need the clip for this guy. You know, the alt-right believe that there's lizard people. Like, how is that not crazy? Oh my god. Like, don't even tell me I blindly believe things and you believe that lizard people exist, okay? Fuck off. And what I also brought up was that, like, conspiracy alt-right nuts think that the celebrity elite are, like, harvesting, like, fetuses for energy or some bullshit. And then she didn't know that because she just didn't know fucking anything. So then later she looks it up and she was like, oh, I looked that up, and it's actually what's going on is that the Hollywood elite are harvesting off the adrenaline in fetuses that can make that can reverse the effects of aging. I was like, okay, and who said this? And she was like, I don't know, some guy on the internet, but he could be right. It's like, oh my god, actual blind believing here. Some idiot on the internet said this, and you're giving them credit. No wonder things, you know? It's cause, and I said, that's when I said, the reason you latch onto this is because you have no education to begin with. So you're going off of nothing. It's just so exhausting to, like, talk to this person. And I think what brought that up is, like, my mom was telling me that my cousin snapped at my aunt because she was coming out as alt-right and said the virus is fake, and, like, all these things, and I think she attacked my aunt. I don't know, or she just, like, hunted her down one day and just, like, disowned her. So she's probably an anti-masker. And the ironic thing is, she went to school for psychology. She has a, I don't know if she has a degree. She went to school for psychology. And she believes this shit. You know? It's like going to school for science and believing in pseudoscience, like homeopathy. It's like, it's a field that is built to disprove that shit. Why would you believe it? And, like, snake oil crap, you know? So yeah, that was pretty much the end of that. I got home and I've been meaning to talk about this for a while. I just forgot. Or I Okay, so I'm making another drawing video too. And I had to take a break because I had to go build my freaking chair. I had to go get a new chair because my old one broke with my fat ass on it. So yeah, I had to build my chair. Then I took a break from drawing. I'm having like a crisis with the color settings on my computer because there's the MSI settings and then there's the Intel Core settings for color. And is there one of them? Oh, there's two of them. I'm gonna activate that. And oh, I don't like this guy's attacks. This used to shoot a lot more. Did they nerf it already? Or maybe not. So a long time ago, I fidgeted with the MSI settings to get it to where I wanted it. And this is all because one day Windows updated and everything was blue. So I had to find the anti-blue setting on the MSI settings. And I turned that on, which made everything normal. But then one day it like fixed itself. And the anti-blue settings like came on like actually, and it made everything red. And I was like, oh, I had to fix this. So I had to go back into the Intel Core color settings and fidget with it there. And like all my older projects look wrong. Cause like on my TV that I use as a monitor, everything looks right. But like there's always like a weird like red tint or blue tint or green tint or whatever or whatever I look on like the laptop monitor. And I'm just like having this crisis where I keep messing with the sliders and I can never get it to it the way it was when I freaking bought the damn thing. So that's what I've been dealing with over the past 2 days. Okay, so the next thing I need to get off my chest is should I go for the other shrine? Not the challenge or whatever. Now this guy will fuck you up if you don't take care of him. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the Makia police shooting. So police brutality is a thing, unfortunately, in America. The whole reason the Black Lives Matter fucking thing started. Well, it's one of the things, but like you had the really big one, which was like two like people at their house in Georgia freaking tracked down and just shot a jogger who was black with a shotgun on the road. And that was fucking just savage, just violent as hell. Like the worst possible hate crime you can imagine. Just like viciously murdering someone because of their race in public. Like that's kind of what started Black Lives Matter. And shortly after that, you had the George Floyd murder, where he was like pinned down for no reason, for like to the point where he couldn't breathe, was suffocated, and died in police custody. There was zero reason for them to do that if they were just trying to arrest him for whatever reason. Like, I'm not saying I don't know what he did to get like in that position to begin with. If he had like things on him and the police were trying to bring him in, sure, whatever, that happens. That can happen to anyone. But the excessive use of like pinning him down when he was already handcuffed, already down, putting the footage of the cops putting their knee on his neck, just fucking. I actually watched that one. That was awful. It sparked all these riots. And Black Lives Matter as a movement was at an all-time like high that time, around that time. And you got these jerks who are like, well, why are they special? All lives matter. Or they're trying to make it everything about them. And it's like, the whole point is that this would never happen to any other race. You know, or at least like we don't hear about it. When I brought that up to the alt-right girl, she was like, that's just because that's what the media covers. It was like, we don't know that it happens to other races because they never cover it. It's like, well, this shit must be hard to find then, because we would have been hearing about it then. You know? And the recently, so police brutality since then has become under scrutiny. Is there evidence for it? Is it happening? And there's not even just brutality, but just police incompetence. Because before the Makia thing, there were 2 other incidents in the freaking same week that were revealed. Like at the end of March. I'm recording this on April 29th. So the first one was the police, I'm gonna call it brutality, on the freaking 12-year-old or whatever kid, the 14-year-old, who, yes, I know he had a gun. I know him and whoever he was with were probably doing something like super shady. But I think I read an article saying that shots were fired. I saw the video of that one where the cop was chasing the kid. The body cam footage. The cop was chasing the kid. The kid threw the gun behind a fence because he didn't want him to see it. And then when a cop caught up to him, his hands were up. He discarded the gun, and the cop fired at the kid anyway. And it was just kind of like, look, he wasn't if you wanted to charge him for something and let the justice system take care of it, you could have done that. But the cop still saw the kid as a threat, even though his hands were up, and he fired. And it's just this whole, like, thing where if someone's an immediate threat, that can probably justify the use of firearms. But just as soon a person can stop being a threat as fast as they can be a threat too. Like, they can whip out a gun and instantly become a threat. Okay, sure, I get that. But when they drop the gun and they're not a threat anymore, it's not justified anymore. Like, I'm saying in that case, the level of the threat has to be the same as the use of the firearm. And the next thing was I don't remember his name, but when the cop who thought she had her taser out, who shot the black guy in his car over a fucking traffic stop. If she meant to pull out her taser, what was the reason for the taser anyway? For the traffic stop. It's like, it still would have been brutality either way, regardless of whether you meant to do that or not. Like, if you're writing a guy a ticket, you don't need to use a taser on them, you know? God. And the fact that this only seems to be happening... Actually, no. I don't think... I don't think the accidental taser thing was, like, racial related. But the George Floyd one, and the one where the guy was shot sleeping in his car outside of Wendy's, those two were absolutely race related, like racially charged, like murders. It's like that wouldn't happen to any other race, you know. I could probably fight that thing. And then the other two examples are just police incompetence. And it's like, why should we fucking trust these guys anymore? Or, you know, it came to my attention that, like, for a long time, I used to think... I'm not saying all cops are bad, but a long time I used to think, like, a police officer's job was to, like, serve and protect. But it's more like their job is and do good. But it's more like their job is to prevent people from doing bad, not so much do good, you know. Like, if someone's speeding and making it unsafe for the rest of the, like, public, their job is to punish that person for breaking the law. They're supposed to uphold the law. That's pretty much it. They're not like superheroes, you know. Where's the fucking teleporter? So why not remember? So then, after that, you got the case where, with Makia, who was shot by a cop. I'll get to how I feel about that in a second, but, from my understanding, and, like, my witnessing of the video, was that, the cop arrived on the scene. He didn't have his gun, like, ready. Like, he wasn't about to shoot anybody. But, like, my guess is there was just, like, an altercation between Makia's foster family. Uh-oh, I don't like that. Makia's foster family and Makia's biological family. And, there was, like, some... nothing was happening at the time when the cop got there. But, so, for context of what I'm about to say here, I'm on the Robert Benford Discord, the guy who makes, like, internet, like, video skits and music videos. Is this the only guy here? I think there's probably two of them, because I use the thing. Fucking just die. And, he has a political channel inside the thing. Let me just say... Oh, shit. Political channels... Wait. Political channels on Discords... Wait, there wasn't two of them. I don't get it. Political channels on Discord are a mistake. Joining them is a mistake. Trying to talk in them is a mistake. So... this guy posts this video of a guy talking about, like, this guy's actually making sense about the shooting. I thought he was talking about the lady with the taser, the lady caught with the taser who meant to use who didn't know she was using a gun. Like, how stupid you gotta fucking be, first of all. But and he was like, no, there's a different one. I was like, Jesus Christ, another one? Like, this was like 3 in the same month. That's ridiculous. Like, don't even tell me this shit's for real. Don't even tell me this shit isn't real, first of all. So, after reading some articles on that, I painted this picture in my mind that what must have happened was Makia called the police because she was being threatened. I thought it was outside of, like, a mall or something, but it's just in the neighborhood. And when the cop got there, I thought she called the police, waiting for them to come to help her, And then she brandished a knife just to keep her attackers at bay until they got there. And then the cop arrived, saw her with the knife, didn't assess the situation, and just shot her instead. I thought that's what happened. So I'm trying to argue with this guy on Discord about why it's not justified. And I thought I was having the upper hand by saying, look, the cop didn't even like try to figure out what was going on before he pulled out his gun. It sucks because she's the one who called them. I also thought that her quote unquote like attacker was a white person, and this only happened because she was black, like another one of those cases. But no, everyone in that video was black when I actually saw it. And I spent like the whole time trying to argue for this thing I didn't even see. And I kept trying to justify like her having the knife out and how it was unfair that she was shot. And then he said something final to me that made me just actually look at the damn video. So he was like, you keep arguing that you keep making it sound like she did nothing wrong. Did you even see the video? And then I was like, alright. I thought I didn't need to for some reason. Oh yeah, I need to go get... I need to look at a artifact thing after I get out the items. I don't think I said what it was I was gonna try to do in this video. I'm either trying to unlock a character. Oh baby, that broke my game last time. Not even broke my game, but like, the mask, right? It makes a ghost for some of the enemies you kill. That's my southern accent coming out. The keel of the day. Anyway, look at that guy up there. Oh, I need to go get that. Woo! So I'm either trying to unlock a character or fight one of the secret bosses right now, or get that artifact, which I can do anyway. So, and then I actually watched the video, and what I had imagined in my mind was different from fucking reality. Yeah, go figure. So what actually happened in the video, in case you haven't seen it, don't get me wrong, I still think it fucking sucks that the cop thought this was a good idea, but at the same time, being shoulda, coulda, woulda about it is also, like, kind of stupid, too. This guy's not dead yet? Okay, how many do I have? Like 8? That's pretty good. I don't need any more. So what actually happened was, when the cop got there, no one was doing anything. There was a lot of yelling and arguing going on, but there was no attacking yet. So the cop gets there, he says what's going on, because he was responding to the call. First of all, there's footage of his body cam in the car responding to the dispatch, and he's like, is there a weapon involved? And the person on the phone is like, just get here, please, just get here. It's like, he asked like 5 times, is there a weapon? And the lady on the phone does say someone has a knife. He keeps asking, is there a weapon? Like, oh my god, did you not hear that? But anyway, it shows him driving to the scene, and he's there, and when he gets there, he asks what's going on. I know I've said this like 5 times, but like, bear with me. Somebody runs out and gets like kicked to the ground, and he's like, stop what you're doing right now. Like, he's trying to be authoritative without like without like use of force, which is fine. And then shortly after that, Makia runs out from the doorstep all the way to the car and is about to go stab the other person. Whoa, what happened to him? And that's when the cop is like, oh shit. And then he pulls out a gun and he shoots her 4 times. And the whole time I was arguing with the guy on Discord, I was saying, like, he could have used a taser. And he showed me the video of, like, that old, like, viral video where that black guy with no shirt on is getting tased. It just doesn't affect him. Except that video... Oh, shit. In that video, their tasers were straight up... What's the word? Defective. And, you know, the guy was probably coked out of his mind, so he was resistant to pain anyway. So, like, she showed me that for no good reason. And that video was already debunked or whatever. And the description was, like, show this every time someone says they could have just used a taser. Like the fucking sass on this guy, you know? And, like, we're arguing about the taser thing. And he said, there's no proof that, like, a taser would have been useful in this situation. Well, I was like, well, she wouldn't have been fucking dead. You know? That's a clear difference right there. And as the officer on the scene, he could have just gotten close to them. But then I'm going into shoulda, coulda, woulda about it. But, like that's the only thing you can do at that point. Just, like, imagine what they could have done to make the public not be mad at them. So I realized all I had to do was look at the footage instead of, like, you know, try to piece things together from just the descriptions of an article alone. And I'm just reflecting on, like, wow, did I really just try to argue with this guy without even watching the damn video? And I'm thinking, like, it sure is a good thing police have body cams now, because we can just watch the footage and not, like, get any biased descriptions from someone else's story, you know? And I reread one of the articles I read like 3 about it, and one of them literally did try to tug at heartstrings, though. It was like, all Makia wanted to do was see her family. She didn't get to because of a cop that day. And it's like, wow, that was literally written so you would take the side of her. And it's like, I should have just looked at the footage. The footage isn't gonna have somebody else's, like, opinion inside of it, you know? And it's like, yeah, I'm glad police have body cam footage now, so we could just review this and see what actually happened instead of, like, a description. So yeah, I feel, like, dumb though. I felt a little bit dumb. Like, and people were acting like not shooting her would have required, like, movie magic, like, action movie maneuvers and stuff. It was like, not really. I think I can leave now. Alright, I need to see what artifact I can try to get. Artifact of Death. I'm just gonna get glass, all diamond. Okay, there's the artifact of glass that I'm gonna try to get. Oh shit. Enemies didn't used to be able to come to you through here, but now they can, and it's kind of scary. And that wasn't even more like blindly believing a source. It's just kind of like I literally didn't see the video, and that's all I had to do. And I was just like, well, because like it's not like I never watched the videos. I've seen footage. I watched the footage of the taser cop. I watched the footage of George Floyd's thing. Oh shit! I watched the footage of the kid getting shot. Like, I don't know why I thought I could do it. I could just not watch it that time. I don't know, dude. The thing is, like, I don't think it was justified. That's literally it. But it wasn't... The thing is, people who say that it was justified think that that was the only way that could have gone down. Is that, oh, she had a knife? Oh, no. Deal 500 damage, but 10% health. Okay. I am very close to death. If I die, this is going to be the end of the video, because I already got across everything I needed to. Oh, wait. I'll have to get the thing first. I am confused about those, like, pieces of the artifact you're supposed to put in. Because, like, they don't always spawn. I guess you have to kill some enemies first, but they're so hard to fucking find later. Like, during this part. Shit, fuck, shit, fuck, shit, fuck. Yeah, it's just, like, everyone who thinks that that was justified thinks that that was the only way that could have happened. It's like, no, man. And when I said, oh shit, when I said he didn't have to do that, all I got back was, what, so you think someone had to get stabbed first? And it's like, no, that's not what I'm saying at all. Someone has to get stabbed before they can be brought to justice? It's like, no, dude, that's not what I'm saying. Like, I prefer nobody did anything. I prefer nobody got shot. You know? And it's like, for someone with a knife is much easier to handle than someone with a gun. And that's where the whole, like, people who deny that part are the ones who think that, like, you have to do action movie shit in order to handle someone with a knife. Oh fuck. I really don't want to leave the stance because I don't want to die. Thing is, I just wish those yellow things would spawn more consistently in the same place. Holy shit, dude. And this is for allies, not enemies. So I think it when I think in Risk of Rain 1, this artifact it would apply to all the monsters too. I'm like, great, now I can't find the thing. And now I'm not sure if I killed enough enemies or not to make it spawn. And I'll be running around for a long time, almost like dying before I actually find it. I also can't really see because in this stance the camera's really close to your guy. So it's like, what? Do I need to kill more enemies or what? And I've also had the yellow thing spawn underneath the stage, so it's like it could be anywhere. Ugh. No, 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 no! Oh, fuck. And, oh, there it is. And, see, it spawns after a certain number of enemies. Shit. And the other thing was like, oh no, I kind of agree that it was maybe a little bit justified. I don't like what he did at the end of the day, but I just, what I imagined happened and what actually happened was wrong. So I was like, oh no, what's happening? My worldview is crashed. .exe. And it was like, well, look, I still know that the Earth is round. The virus is real, and the government is trying to like help us through that. Like, I haven't like completely turned, you know. I still think Black Lives Matter is a valid movement. I don't, but I don't think that the previous two things were race related. Like, oh, and you know the verdict of Derek Chauvin, one of the police officers who put his knee on the fucking dude's neck. He's guilty, and it has to be. It's good that he was found guilty because this has to send a message that like police officers with prejudice can't just fucking do that and not get punished for it. Because the way the world was before, like, an officer would do that, get suspended, and then be back on the job. It's like, what? They should just get away with that because they're officers. It's like, that's fucked up. And if he was innocent, then this would keep happening. And none of these, like, prejudiced officers would be punished for, like, how they handle things. And it has to send the message that there's no room for this in the fucking criminal justice world, alright? And you're fucking full of shit if you think... You're fucking full of shit if you think that it wasn't excessive violence against, like, a civilian. Don't push me off. What is pushing me off? These fucking guys... Oh my god, I'm not even, like, halfway done. I still have, like, 2 more things to go. And my freaking spinny disc thing isn't working. Okay, it's over. Alright. And, you know, the far right or the alt-right are, like, upset about, the verdict, probably. I mean, also about the Makia case, I've never gotten so much money. The guy in the Robert Bedford Discord that showed me the video of the guy's, like, podcast, he was saying, I kind of get what he's saying about all nuance is lost about it. Ah, shit. Because since his action is under scrutiny, when the person with the knife was like charging at somebody else and he shot her. If this act is under scrutiny, he says this is no nuance anymore because now there's no situation in which a cop can do good now because they use a gun. It's like, well, that's not really what the case is. It's like his decision. I don't know, dude. There's no way a cop can do good. Because the thing is like this. Okay, so if... God damn it, why am I... Okay, so the justice system is there, right? And the goal of, like, an officer when someone is breaking the law is to bring them to it and get them charged with it, and that's how it's supposed to work. Like, you get arrested for, I don't know, embezzlement or something, or tax fraud, or I don't fucking know, something else. Or, like, murder, or illegal possession of something. You bring them to justice, they get fined, whatever. When a cop decides, actually, I'm going, even though I have, like, something on you I could get you charged with, I'm going to just kill you instead. That says, actually, no, I'm not going to use the justice system on you. And then, like, even a freaking 14-year-old is beyond bringing to the justice system. It's just, like, worth killing. That's fucked up. Or, like, Makia was what, like 15 or 16? Even a teenager's life isn't worth bringing to justice. Like, she could have been, like, arrested and tried for threatening someone with a knife, with a weapon. Okay, so that thing's my ghost now. I thought it was an enemy. So, fun fact, when I killed a ghost... Okay, my words are being fucked up. When I killed a Clay Doomstrider, it became my ghost. And when Clay Doomstriders become low health, they start, like, doing that whole HP siphon thing. The HP siphon thing works on you, even though it's your ghost. And I found that out, and that's how I died that run. I was like, oh, shit. So that was not cool. But yeah, so, like, when an officer decides to just take lives into their own hands, regardless if they're a threat or not, that just says to me, well, I guess the justice system isn't worth upholding then. And that is what police brutality is. It's like, they're not even doing, like, the non-violent option, so... Especially when they can. And it's like, fuck. Like, you see white people who are anti-maskers just get arrested all the time. And it's like, they'll never pull a gun on them. It's like, well... And you know what, when I said, when I brought up the couple, during, like, a Black Lives Matter march, there was that couple who, outside their house, they thought they were being attacked or whatever, so they pulled out fucking firearms, and police didn't do anything to them. Which I also kind of spouted out of my ass. Like, I didn't know for sure if they were getting tried for something or not. And when I said that, pointing out the hypocrisy about Makia pulling out a knife, and I thought it was in defense at the time. He said, well, that's not true because they are also in, like, court for something. Their case is ongoing, so that's not true. You can't say that. Bringing something else up to prove how something else is not fair is stupid. I was like, I didn't say this, but it's like, this is the whole point of bringing it up, is to bring up, like, my words are all over the damn place. You bring up another case of something in science to prove that something else is, like, wrong or right. And that's how you point out a double standard. If one thing is okay, and the other thing is not, that's a double standard. So, that's the only reason why I bring up other cases of things. So, yeah. Like, yeah, I wish the cop didn't do that. Or, like, it would have been, if he got 4 clean shots, easy, he could have gotten a taser out and or use the gun in a non-fatal manner. Like, she would put him in down after one bullet. Like, really? Four shots? Or, like, you shoot someone in the leg or the arm to incapacitate them. You know? 4. That's ridiculous. If she was charging at someone with a knife, and she wasn't responding to your demands as an officer, to your authority, as Carmen would say it, then that's maybe when you pull out a gun. But not to kill. It just seemed like every time a cop pulled out the gun, in like other cases, it was shoot to kill, instead of like shoot to apprehend, or wound, or incapacitate, or make them stop running, you know? Especially when the kid had his hands up, and he still got shot. Someone with a knife got shot. They kill in every like case, and it's really hard. I find it hard to defend officers in that way, you know. So when I hear someone doing it, I'm like, how can you do this? How? And you know, I brought this up to the alt-right girl. Oh shit, there's 4 of them. And she said something fucking heartless. She said the kid who got shot in the alleyway, parents should be sued. And it's like, that is fucking heartless. I can't believe I heard that. Like, if that were your kid, are you really gonna say, like, well, this is the part where I get sued? You'd be like, you killed my child. And the rest of the world is like, well, you shouldn't have let your kid out with a gun late at night. And the better argument is, look, a cop shouldn't shoot someone unarmed. If they shoot someone armed, okay, I get it. They shouldn't shoot a fucking teenage kid who is unarmed. And you know what? He was armed at the time. Yeah. He threw away the gun because he was a kid. He was nervous. But he deserved that. Like, fuck. Okay, I'm back. Now there's birds here, and I don't know what to do. I just noticed that, since the magazine clip, it gives you an extra charges for your second ability, and when you go into dual wield mode, your new second, oh shit, oh, this bird got me. The alloy vulture. I was just saying, I just noticed that when you're using your dual wield, your new second ability becomes an extra charge of your missile, which is really nice, but not for the first one. That's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. Now at least I'm not gonna think about it anymore. But I know for sure I'm not fucking going on a walk with that fucking cunt again.